Release the Kraken!
Welcome back, fellow game designers. In our last video, we went ahead and created the game for City Defense. And here we go. If I hit play, I can then hit the play button. We get a countdown. And our asteroids, they fall from the sky. And we can click on them. And assuming it doesn't break, we have a game. Hooray! We made this! It's awesome! Now, of course, what we have here is a gameplay demo. With any game development project, it's good to have a rough version of the game so you can see how it plays, get some feedback before you do any of the hard work of creating all the assets and stuff, so that you know the game's going to be fun. And if we play the game, we can actually see that as the asteroids come down, because they come down in a group like this, it's really difficult to try to get all the asteroids. I can't click these ones behind the buildings. When the asteroids are on the ground, they're technically still clickable. So I could just spam to win here, right? So there are things that we can learn from our demo piece, things that we can improve on, right? So that's what we're going to do in this video. But first, a word from our sponsor, which is me. If you happen to be seeing this in 2026, near May, I have a Kickstarter going for the Wielders of Ether. Here it is. We are 13 days left at this point in the recording, and we haven't even come close to our $10,000 goal. But we won't get there without the support of our backers. So if you've enjoyed all the free content over the years for the channel, please consider backing the project. It really means a lot to us. And we'll be at the Tampa Bay Comic-Con this year with the comic and showing that off and selling it as well. So, but if you want to get it early, you want to get some exclusive items that are just available through the Kickstarter. This is where to do it. If the Kickstarter doesn't succeed, those items will not be available. So it's just how that rolls. You make exclusive things for the perks. So let's go ahead and hit the stop button, and so let's adjust what we're looking at our playing field. So first up, we're a bit crowded in here, right? I can't really do a whole lot with all these buildings. So what do? I'm going to go to my scene view, and I'm going to redo this so that our buildings are in a straight line. That would make things a lot easier, right? So if we look at the old tower defense game, you can see everything's in kind of a straight line because that's so much easier to interact with. And the buildings are so much lower to the ground. That gives you a little bit of headroom so you can, stop the stuff falling, right? When it's so close, it's difficult to get to everything. So that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to take our platform, and right now it is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's, 10 meters this way, 10 meters that way. Let's go ahead and reduce this so it's maybe 1 meter long, or 1 meter wide. So let's grab that, and then in the Z scale, let's do 0.1. There we go. So one little strip. And actually, I'll go 0.2. That way we can fill this in. Have a little bit of road front and back. There we go. Let's get rid of these buildings here. So this guy, we can get rid of him, this one, and that one. I'll keep this one around. This one looks like it's really good. Center at 0, 0, 0. And I'll go ahead and hit Control D to duplicate. Hold down the Control key, and I will just drag this out to the next grid line. So 2 grid lines over is good, and I'll do that again. I'll go the other way. There we go. I've got 5 buildings. Yeah. If I go to the game view, you can see I have this now. Now this is very far away from me, but it's not really giving me a lot of headroom. So I'm going to move the whole scene down, or better yet, I'll move the camera up. So to do that, I'll grab my main camera. I'll go to my Y, grab the Y, and just drag. And you'll see that this is moving down. So that puts my camera at 5.16. I'll just do 5. If you want to be right on the border, 5.16 or 1.5. Yeah, 5.15. Good enough. And I can make this little strip longer. So I can get my plane. And I will rename my plane. I'll call it ground. And let's see, for the X, it's currently 1. If I double it, we get that. If I triple it, it goes off the screen. So up to you how far out you want this to go. But I think that looks pretty good. Next up, what I want to do is adjust how these asteroids are going to be falling. Okay, so that one fell, and that one went off screen, right? That one's going off. This one went in front. These are like in front. Those are behind. And there's like a cluster. A whole bunch are falling at once, right? So we need to fix the pacing of this as well as exactly how they're going to fall. So let's go ahead and open up our scripts here. We want to get our asteroid, and we want to get that spawner. So go ahead and open these up. Okay. So right off the bat, in the spawner, let's go ahead and dive into our spawn. So right now we have it called spawn enemy, but it's spawn asteroid. It's fine. We're going to come down here, and for our spawn location, we are getting a left and right boundary at random. That's fine. Top boundary, that one's good. Our front and back boundaries, we don't want it to go front and back anymore. So we're going to take away this front and back random. So we'll take this out. There we go. And we'll just do 0 for our Z. So now it'll go left and right, but it will not go behind or in front. So if we save that and hit play, hey, and they're all center. Now, we also want to prevent these things from rolling and doing some silly stuff, so we'll fix that as well. And let's also reduce the number of asteroids that can spawn. Let's make this a min and a max. We'll come up here, let's do public int. We'll do spawn min, and then spawn max. Hey, look at that. IntelliSense knows what I want. And we'll use these, and then as the game gets more difficult, we can always adjust that spawn rate. So I'm going to come in here. We'll make this one the spawn min. And this one will be the spawn max. There we go. Alright, let's go to the asteroid. And we'll make this so that when it hits the ground, it gets deleted. We already have a check boundary. So if it falls outside of our grid, or if it somehow falls off the world, it'll be deleted. That's fine. We can keep that check, but this doesn't handle what happens when it actually hits the ground. So let's go ahead and create a overlap. So I'll do void on trigger enter. Okay, go ahead and finish that one up. So on trigger enter, we need to know what we're hitting and when to be deleted. So we'll say if, look at it, it knows what I want most of the time. So other dot, and we'll do compare tag. So compare tag, quotes, ground. So if we hit the ground, we will do destroy. And then we can just pass in game object. Now, just to be consistent, you can see here we did this game object, but you'll notice that this is grayed out. And the reason for that is when a piece of code is attached to an object, if you're already inside of that object, right, if you're in that object class, this is redundant. You don't have to say this. You only need to say this in certain circumstances. So if you're working between different classes, or if you're in different scopes, you might want to say this. So for cleanup, we actually don't need to call this. So I go ahead and just remove this from here. And that'll be consistent. Okay, so now we need to set it up so that we have this ground tag. To set a tag, go ahead and grab whatever you want. So I'll get my ground. Over here under tag, I'm going to come down and create a tag. So add tag. And let's make a few tags here. So I'll hit this. I know I'm going to want the ground tag, so ground. I also will want an asteroid tag. I'm going to need a building tag. Let's do a missile tag, because at some point we're going to have a missile. And we will also add in an explosion tag. Now that we've created tags, let's go ahead and assign some. So I'll get my ground tag, set that to ground. I'll also get my skyscraper, but I'll do that through the prefab. So prefab, skyscraper, and we'll set that to the building. And then for the asteroid, come here you, we'll set that to the asteroid. And we'll start using these tags a little bit later, but for the one we're going to set up right now will be for the ground. And then on the asteroid itself, we're going to do a trigger. So what a trigger does is instead of having a physical collision, it's going to pass through the other object, but the moment its collider overlaps with another collider, an event will trigger. And we're going to use that to handle some of the other events that we want. So for destroying the buildings or fragmenting them or whatever, you'll see a little bit later. Let's go ahead and exit the prefab. Let's get the spawner. And then in here, let's make sure that we set our min and max spawn rate. So we'll say our min is 1 asteroid and our max, maybe it's 2. We can hit play. And then play. Hey, and you see once it hit the ground, it disappeared. Future me here to interrupt the video and stop it. As you can see from my layout, I've done a whole bunch of stuff and I kind of squirreled. So we're going to pause the video here and we'll pick it up in the next one. Okay? Hey guys, thank you for checking out the channel. If you like that video you just watched, consider hitting that like button and hit or subscribe. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, check out the Wielders of Ether. It's my upcoming comic book. The Kickstarter will be dropping pretty soon. You can see that is getting ready here. The newsletter for that, if you go to brucebooks.com, you can sign up for the newsletter, and you will be notified when the Kickstarter drops. We're pretty excited, and we hope to see you on launch day.